Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Dutchman Plays Kathy Rain 2, Soothsayer. This is a point-and-click adventure game, very reminiscent of Curse of Monkey Island, all those old Sierra point-and-click games. This is our main character, Kathy Rain. He is a detective, she's got a motorcycle, she's a badass. I did not play the first one, technically speaking. I think my sister played it, and I watched her play only parts of it even. But very good game from what I've heard, and I'm excited to play the second one. I'm a little bit sick from the convention still, so we're going to try to do something a little different this week. It's something a little experimental. Straight up, I'm going to be silent, let the game play for itself. You can hear my voice a little deeper. I definitely don't want to strain my voice. I'm still a little congested after all. I don't want you guys to get distracted by sniffling, sneezing, coughing, all that gross stuff. So, I'm going to try and play the entire game, let the game speak for itself. And How Long to Beat says it takes 8 hours to play the game. Sounds like an easy 5-episode series to me. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoy. We'll do a rep at the end. Otherwise, enjoy Kathy Rain 2, Soothsayer. One last thing, I might actually turn up the volume a little bit. If it's quiet in my headphones, then it's probably a little quiet for you all. I think the balance was good. I think with the speech and the effects, kind of where they were. Alright, resolution should be fine. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and do the recap.
In 1995, my grandfather died in Conwell Springs, my hometown. I returned for the funeral after being away since childhood. In 1995, I learned that my grandpa had been investigating strange occurrences surrounding a mysterious presence in the forest. However, something happened to him in the woods, putting him in a vegetative state for over a decade. To solve this mystery, I teamed up with Eileen Summers, my college roommate. A Christian nerd and a biker badass. It was a match made in heaven. A local church turned out to harbor a secret cult worshiping the malevolence in the woods, referring to it as the Old God. An endangered hallucinogenic flower, the red scythe, was somehow connected to the Old God's power. As we came closer to the truth, a servant of the Old God made himself known in dreams and visions, the Crimson One, a scheming trickster. Things came to a head when the priest of the corrupt church, Isaac Price, abducted Eileen, intending to offer her to the Old God. I managed to track them down and have Isaac thrown in jail, but Eileen was in a catatonic state and was about to suffer the same fate as my grandfather. I continued alone and found my way into a great field of red scythes in the depths of the forest. Greeted by the Crimson One, I descended into the Old God's bizarre realm, a place straddling the line between the physical and the otherworldly. The powers of that place tried to break me. My past trauma was manifested and turned against me, including my shadow, an evil doppelganger. I defeated these foes and emerged back into the real world. As I left Conwell Woods, I set the flowers ablaze to eradicate the evil at its root. In my absence, Isaac Price took the coward's way out in his jail cell. When I returned, Eileen had awoken. She was safe. It was time for us both to go back home.
All right. I'm just going to chime in real quick to kind of wrap that up. So there's a lot of metaphysical going on here. Supernatural. I'm super excited to hear it. One of the other inspirations for this game surely must have been the Gabriel Knight series. The pixel art, the detective vibes. Feels a lot like the very first Gabriel Knight, where you're investigating a voodoo cult in New Orleans. Obviously voodoo isn't real, black magic can't hurt you, but in that game it surely could. And so I feel like we're going to kind of get a blur between reality and supernatural with this. And I'm glad to see it. Let's get into it.
We're closed. For fuck's sake.
Hey, kid.
Oh, Lucas.
Gee, what happened to you? Looks like somebody's been through the ringer.
You should mind your own business, old man, before I bring up your ex-wife.
Hey now, I'm just looking out for a former student of mine. And you're always my business.
Oh, I bet I am. That's the only way a has-been like you could ever stay relevant.
Ha! Yeah, that must be it. Now, you gonna invite me in and just let me stand here like an asshole?
Fine, come in then. You want some coffee?
I got enough, old sis, thank you very much. That brew you make is rancid.
Oh, I did that on purpose. I wanted to do detective work, not dumb chores like some airbrained secretary.
Feigning incompetence, huh? Clever move.
I guess so. I just wish that shrewdness of mine could make me some money.
There's my segue. Did you hear the news on the Soothsayer?
I never took you for a sucker, Lucas. This is Cassidy. There's no way that reward is legit.
You're wrong. Mayor Adams is different. He's the real deal.
And you know this how exactly?
Well, because it just so happens that I was hired to find dirt on the guy. I got nada. Zip. He's a total Boy Scout.
Whatever. We're still talking about a serial killer. Do I look suicidal to you?
Kinda. You passed out at noon, stinking of booze, and that eviction notice hanging over your head isn't doing you any favors.
That's none of your concern. I'm handling it. I just need a goddamn case. A normal case. Free of homicidal maniacs.
Don't know what to tell you, kid. Things are looking kinda dry on that front, you dig?
Oh, God. Please don't try to sound hip, Lucas. Your Dick Tracy imitation is cringeworthy enough.
I suppose you could always pawn off that bike of yours. Buy you another month or two.
Tell him, Mildred. Lose the Catmobile? I'd rather chop off my left tit.
I may be a has-been, but I'm fairly sure that self-mutilation won't do you much good. A couple $100K, on the other hand.
I love money just as much as the next girl, but, I mean, this isn't just a long shot. It's about as likely as Mildred turning vegan and taking up juggling.
Come on, one more case, for old time's sake. 50-50 split. How could anyone beat my rugged charm and your youthful vigor?
Lucas, we both know you're about as charming as a clown at a funeral. And the last time I saw my vigor was 3 tequila bottles ago.
All right. I know what I'm beating. I'll drop it.
Look, thanks for the tip. I might actually take a shot at that bounty, but you need to accept that we're not a team anymore. We had a good run, but I have my own thing going. Look, see? My name is on the frosted glass and everything.
I can respect that. You're not allergic to a little quid pro quo from time to time, though, are you?
Now, that I can do. That's how the world works anyway. It's all just an endless circle jerk of quid pro fucking quo.
I don't quite see things that way, but my door is always open if you'd like to discuss the case.
Sure. May the best woman win.
You telling me I'd look good in a dress? Later, kid.
Bye, Lucas. Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. I should have information on the Soothsayer somewhere in this room.
Alright, couple of things. Spacebar we can hold to, holy, display our interactables. Cassidy, it sounds like, is the town we're living in. We're dry on cases, down on our luck. There's a big bounty for this serial killer case. We have a stack of unpaid bills at the door, so one way or another, it looks like we're gonna take this case on. I guess the only thing we didn't want to do was split it with our old friend there. By the way, just predicting it now, I bet he's gonna die. I hate to say it, but he was raising a couple of death flags in that conversation.
What bills? Never saw those. Nope, no siree. Yeah. Maybe there's something about the killings in these papers. All right. I found a few interesting articles about the most recent murder.
Point and click 101. Investigate everything. Combine every item with every item. Speaking of which, I have my inventory here. I got my notebook, which is probably how I'll interrogate people. Stun gun for stunning people, obviously. Lighter, always useful. Lockpicks, even more useful. And I have the newspaper articles. Wonder if I can read them from my inventory here. Yes, I can. Soothsayer targets best-selling author Cassie serial killer hits high-profile victim. Deborah Sinclair was tragically taken, stabbed to death in her iconic cabin. Killing signature mirror left on the scene made it clear she had become yet another Soothsayer victim. So the killer leaves mirrors behind. Science fair doesn't seem very interesting. Dock strike continues. Oh, I can scroll, okay. No sign of a break-in, no items of value stolen. Acute blood loss by sharp force trauma, stabbing. Similar to Rose Taylor, the original casualty, also a middle-aged woman stabbed to death. 5 victims, 3 months. That's very, very fast. Citizens getting mad. More radical measures. Mayor Adams is offering the bounty. Final Cassidy mine closed. Hold on, let me check the dates again. This was May 13th, was she was killed. May 9th, it was reported. That didn't feel right to me. This is just more details, I guess. I don't know. Devastated to report 5th victim, Deborah Sinclair. Previous victim, Jane Doe, I should say, laying on the anniversary of Storm Chaser, one of her novels. They have a deeper connection. I don't know, why would he wait 5 murders in to take out the actual author? She was killed in her retreat. Body's been transported to the morgue. Chief Ranger Samuel Walker had a comment. Alright, that's all we have on it, though. So she was killed on the 9th, or at least near it. Does this say how recently she was killed? Murder occurred in her retreat near the border. NPS was first on site. Crime scene will soon be handed over to Soothsayer Task Force. Okay. So somewhere near the 9th she was killed. And on the 13th they had more details. I'm assuming KPD finished their investigation.
All right, I think that's everything I've got on Deborah in here. When I'm ready to leave, I should be able to learn more about the other victims at the library.
Alright, we got lucky. Apparently that's everything we needed from our office. I'm gonna go ahead and investigate everything before we go, just in case there's more items to pick up. But next up is the library.
Thanks for the headache, you Mexican jerk. The city we're in, unfortunately. My biggest fan, as depressing as that is. Empty. All this gumshoe has left to pawn is her dignity. Various reference books and technical manuals. Thankfully, I don't need to make any calls right now. Every time I pick that thing up, I pray there's still a dial tone. An article in the Chicago Tribune about the Whitmore affair. My big breakthrough case last year. I've been meaning to get it framed, but I've been too busy with important things. You know, like drinking alone. When there's new messages, it blinks. It's high-tech like that. The Yellow Pages. Handy for looking up people and businesses. No dice. Hardly a shocker, she was a celebrity. Huh. I wish it was that easy. Just outdated casework. Can't bring myself to take them down. My private investigator's license issued last year. I was worried how Lucas would react, so I applied for it behind his back. I couldn't have been more wrong, though. That old fart has been nothing but supportive since then. It's a plastic laminator, a machine used to encase paper and other thin objects in transparent plastic. I mainly use it for fake IDs. That cranky drawer is stuck good. I know Eileen had some magic trick to get it open. Too bad she's not around. I should grab this in case I need to snap some shots. My radio, with a built-in cassette player. I prefer the quiet right now. Who's the best fluff ball? Couldn't agree more. Mildred's abode. Nothing out there but a brick wall and a bucket load of misery. Every biker worth her salt has got a box like this somewhere. Every bike... Extra helmets. Eileen used to wear one of them when back when things were different. Useful things for when the Catmobile needs a tune-up. Eileen and me, before Rain investigation started going downhill. We worked great together, didn't we? I wish things didn't have to go the way they did. Nah, I'll live with my current face. Uh-oh. That's quite a tequila face you got there, Kathy. This might be useful. Ugh, don't make me hurl. I'm way too hungover for coffee. Keeps me in perfect timing. Various spices and condiments gathering dust. No time to do the stupid dishes. I've got a case to solve. Standard electric oven. Barely used. A postcard left by Jimmy Cochran, that strange old geezer I met at a mental institution a few years ago. He was discharged a year after we met, and for some reason, he seems to think I had something to do with it. I better not open that. Wouldn't want the mold to spread. It's a photo I took of the West End Bridge here in the city back in the day. Teenage Kathy had one of those artsy photographer phases. Nah, no fun alone and sober. My walk-in closet. It's a real mess in there. I better not open the door or I'd risk spilling all sorts of shit out here. How's it hanging, Lampy? I better put that away later, for Mildred's sake. That little rascal has proven that yes, cats can get drunk. Still same old Cassidy, City of Gleam. Manhunt. I prefer their old material, but their latest album wasn't half bad. Oh, Cryptic Chaos. Can't wait till they're back in town. Maybe later. The red one goes better with this set. I shouldn't need to bring that. There's storage on the bike if I need it. I wish, but if I don't shape up and get some work done, I'm gonna end up sleeping somewhere way less comfy. Yeah, I figured the room needed some extra groove. No thanks. Ballet is not my kind of scene. Nah, I got one at home. That an actual avocado tree? Sure looks the part. So apparently if there's a fire, I'm supposed to run through those gigantic double doors 10 feet away. Phew, I'm saved. A plaque with some prominent donors. Interestingly, Deborah Sinclair is listed here. Ugh, plenty of bad memories from this place. Being forced here for school was the worst. The old librarian lady was the meanest hag you could imagine, and she had it out for me from the start. Hi, I need some help, please.
Of course. How can I be of assistance?
What do you know about Deborah Sinclair?
Quite a bit. Do you have a more specific line of inquiry?
What do you know about the murder?
I believe she was killed at her writer's retreat, stabbed to death. The police say the MO was similar to the other victims, with the shattered mirror and all that.
Where's this writer's retreat located exactly?
There's an area called Bear Creek, just on the border of the national park. Sinclair owned a small cabin there.
All right, got it. That's a decent drive, so I think I'll head out there tomorrow. What kind of books did Deborah write?
She dabbled in many different genres over the years, but her main bulk of work could probably be defined as horror, mystery, or a combination of the two. Afflicted, Dead Ends Meet, and the Jenny Payne trilogy are some of her most well-known titles.
Huh, okay. Was she working on a new book when she died?
I believe so, yes. But I don't have any details to share.
Was Deborah a popular author?
Oh, yes. Even before her death. Afterwards, her popularity has reached astronomical levels.
I can imagine. Borrowing one of her books now is out of the question, right?
Correct. 6 months wait minimum.
Yeah, I figured. What do you know about Deborah's private life?
She had quite an interesting life. Adopted as a child, and her adoptive father, Sebastian Willis Sinclair, was an accomplished author in his own right. Deborah's birth mother was a young homeless woman, and her father was a Native American. Deborah spent much of her life trying to track down her biological father, unsuccessfully. Perhaps in some part due to her roots, Deborah's books have often contained subject matter inspired by Native American religion. She was childless and unmarried when she passed away. Rumors say she was gay, but God knows tabloids are quick to jump to conclusions. I don't think she ever clarified that matter to the public. If you are curious to learn more, I would highly recommend her acclaimed autobiography, Unbound.
Oh, I might check that out. Thanks for the information. I'm looking to find some information on the Soothsayer.
Ah, quite a few people have taken an interest in that case lately.
That's so. Well, I'm not scared of a little competition. So, you got anything for me?
Yes, I would direct you to the microfilm viewer at the end of the hall. We have full scans of all of the major newspapers dating all the way back to the 50s.
Perfect. I should be able to browse those for some articles about the murders.
Indeed. If I may ask, what is your own interest in the case?
You probably heard there's a reward, right? I'm a PI, and money is tight, so...
I see. I suppose we each have our own ways to make a living.
I'm not sure what this button is. I'm gonna click on it and see. Oh, it just tucks it away. Alright.
Thanks. I'll come back if I have more questions.
Very well. Good luck.
A workstation for the librarian. If I need to search for books, I could use the computer down the hall. You can rent one of those if you lack a fixed address. Let's hope things don't come to that. A bunch of magazines. Mostly celebrity gossip, it looks like. If I need a book, I should use the computer. Some local hero from the Civil War, I think? Well, either that or Beethoven. That guy gets around.
I've forgotten all the other titles he told me to look up, so I only got these two. These are the only two that matter, I think. The others were just like books that she had written, and they're of course going to be unavailable. So I think we're done here. So we have another book to look up.
Anything I print should appear here. I think that includes printouts from that microfilm viewer at the end of the hall. Okay, let's see here. It would take ages to look through all the microfilms since the killings began, so maybe I can figure out on what date the murder prior to Deborah's occurred. Hopefully I can deduce the date of the previous murder from the articles I picked up at the office. When I have a good date written down, I can view the corresponding microfilm and look for useful information.
Alright, looks like we got a puzzle. We're going to try and figure out the date of the murder.
We're still in May. It doesn't make sense to browse any later dates.
Trying to find the murder before Deborah's. So she is May 8th. Oh, it says it right there. And the one before it was May 9th. Okay, so Jane Doe was on the anniversary of Storm Chaser. Alright then, that's very good info. We do have a book to look up. $425. It's the anniversary, right? So it should just be $425. January, February, March, April. Boink.
All right, I've got a date written down. I can use that to find the corresponding microfilm. Yeah, this date should be good. I'll search through a week or so of microfilm, starting from the date I've written down. Hopefully I can find some useful information on the previous victim. Yes, there we go. I'll have these printed. All right, rinse and repeat. I should try to determine the previous microfilm date based on the information in these new pages. That way I can make my way back from article to article, victim to victim, until I get all the way to the first murder. Let's see here.
Infamous Soothsayer has cranked up the heat. Oh, that's a little in poor taste. Died on April 25th. Constance Hill, she was killed. For extensive coverage of the previous victim, Deacon Townsend. See issue 842. I'm gonna pencil those down real quick, so I don't have to reference this again. Deacon Townsend? Yeah, okay. Sometimes Townsend is spelled with an H in there somewhere, and I'm not sure that happens sometimes, but that's how life is. Another Jane Doe article. This is when they made the task force. "18 years old. No obvious similarities. Disposals are all different. Greater Cassidy area. At this time, it was over 3 months. We're up to 5 months now, which is why our I guess it's the start of the new year, huh? Somewhat local to the area. Task force is established. Edgar Mitchell Brown. No federal jurisdiction, that makes sense. It's not a federal crime. It doesn't cross state lines. It's all very localized to the city even. I suppose you can ask for federal help if you know, you're starting to lose track of things, but we've got 8 senior detectives on the case now. We don't need FBI help. Alright, so not too much information on that one unless I missed it. And then we can go back to Deborah. Okay.
I know where Constance Hill is, but that's a fair distance from the city. Better save it for tomorrow. For now, I'll put Jane Doe on hold and see what I can find about the previous murder victim.
I don't think Deacon Townsend is an author, so I'm not surprised that didn't work. Can I do 842? No. Maybe I can just pull 842 out of the shelves.
Microfilms containing images of scanned newspapers. They're organized by calendar date. Some antique world map centered on the US. 1800s, maybe? It's one of those advanced microfilm viewers. I'll need to insert a microfilm to use that.
Alright, I think I'm supposed to have found a date in there, so let me go ahead and pull that back up. 842. Who's this? 29th is 845. This was 2 days ago, so this should be 843. April 26th, so April 25th. January, February, March, April, so 425. No, I need the one before it. What am I doing? Oh, 842, yeah, so I am right. April. Three days before the 29th. The 26th. And if not, I'll just kind of click around the area. Alright. Can I click anywhere? Oh, she will click anywhere. Ooh. Fingers crossed, that's right.
It's one of those... Worth a shot?
He doesn't sound very confident.
Rats. I was hoping to find issue number 842 here. I guess the Sun is not a daily paper. Oh, and Jane Doe died on April 25th to boot, didn't she? That's the day before this. Seems unlikely that the murders were that close.
Good hints. This is a good game. Alright, so there are weekly issues. I need to go 3 weeks back. Three weeks back on a Wednesday. Yeah, it says it right there, weekly news. Let's go 3 weeks back from the 29th then. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, this should be the right date.
That's what
Let's
I
see
wanted to
here.
hear.
Okay, let's have a look.
They had to report the third member of our community. Yesterday's first serial killer. Benedict Townsend. Death occurred on April 3rd. Staged suicide. Oh, so he was a deacon. Okay. Makes sense. King of Kings Catholic Church. Might be a location later. Old congregation dating back to the 1900s. Hugh Winters. Pastor. King of Kings is open. The crime occurred in the adjacent building. Third member of our community. Okay. And I think all the faded stuff is bluff. Well, here's something about Deborah Sinclair. Maybe we should read this real quick. Thorns of the Wild, slated for a movie adaptation. You can look that up if you feel like it's pertinent. We can always come back to it later. Soothsayer linked to 3 murders. Deacon Benedict Townsend, age 15. Cause of death was hanging. Suicide has been ruled out. The area is eerily similar to that of Eric Holloway. Postman has denies on that ominous full moon night last month. Okay. Full moon last month? January, February, March. The full moon of March is when Eric died. Initially treated as suicide, also revised to homicide. Brutal stabbing of Rose Taylor back in February. Okay. Noting that. Rose Taylor. Feb. Let me put Eric Holloway. Full moon. March. Okay. We'll get more details about Rose, I'm sure, from Eric's. Shattered obsidian mirror. Locally referred to as a scrying mirror. It was... Oh. That recent full motion video game. You're Detective Jenks in a small British town that's scrying mirrors in it. People get high and look into these mirrors and lose themselves. Anyways, that's unrelated. Religious motive? Possibly. The signature of the killer is no hack. No other forensic evidence. Here has to be deliberate. Alright, let's pull up Eric Holloway. Benedict Townsend. Scrying mirrors. King of Kings. Alright.
Okay, I'll make sure to look into that church later and maybe find the address. For now, let's move on to victim number 2.
here we are in March. These little moon symbols indicate what the phase of the moon was on those days. This is a new moon, so this is the full moon.
Yes, this should be the right date. Let's see here.
I wonder if I had selected the dark circle, if she would have been like, ah, that's the new moon, silly Kathy. Alright, anyways. Permanent suicide morphs into homicide, March 18th. Initially reported as a suicide, the death of Eric Holloway on March 12th has been officially reclassified as homicide. So 12 to 18, 6 days. Public death. Multiple reliable witnesses, Victim was pushed off the roof at 4 Verdant Street. No detailed descriptions. It was at night. I guess they saw a silhouette then. He was a mailman. Well liked. His fiance died last year, unfortunate. Links to the motel stabbing of Nurse Rose Taylor on Statehood Day. Okay. February Statehood. Nothing to share further detail. Grim fall into the full moon. Thursday, March 12th, roughly 8 p.m. 32-year-old man left from the roof. Instantly killing himself. I hate to say this, but I don't think a 4-story fall instantly kills you. This is maybe a little too dark for this video, but I think you can survive a fall like this and you just like slowly bleed out from the trauma. Not a good way to try to kill yourself falling from a building. I think maybe if you land right on your head, you can make it instant. Maybe that's what happened to him. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But if you land feet first, you're definitely gonna just end up in a real bad state. No suicide note. If you're having suicidal thoughts, National Suicide Hotline, 555-922-92. This is not the actual number, but do look up your suicide hotline if you're ever in trouble. Number is readily available on Google, like that. Where were we? Rose Taylor, Statehood Day. Okay.
Eric's address isn't too far away, but I should learn all I can here before I visit any of the crime scenes. Coming up last, the very first victim of the Soothsayer.
Here it is, Statehood Day. That was fast.
Yes, this should be the right date. Let's see here.
Satanist responsible for motel slaughter. Brutal stabbing, Azure Sky Motel, February 5th. Occult angle to the killing. An artifact left on the scene. Husband was briefly detained but released. Means a person of interest. Multiple sims. That's very common. This has a lot of fluff on it, so maybe there's something more here. A lot of these hackings are going on. And we have a K9 unit now. Just briefly running through these, I don't think there's anything important here. Oh, here we go. Deborah Sinclair, book signing, big success. February 7th, Rose Amanda Taylor, age 47, found dead by Robert Tippett, the owner of the Azure Sky. Stabbed to death by unknown perpetrator, blood everywhere, like a goddamn butcher room. He's going to hell. Go ahead and print that. Neighbors report hearing a commotion, but that was a regular occurrence and no one bothered investigating. Husband, 2 children. If you have any information, call this number. Midnight and Me, Pages and Tales. We may have to come back to these because there are a lot of title drops, in addition to what the librarian told us. But we'll deal with that when we get to it. For now, they're grayed out. They're in the fluff zone, so not going to dig too deep into it.
All right, that should be everything on the microfilms. I think I'll continue to focus on gathering information today and then head to each of the murder sites tomorrow. I think I'll look into that church next, the King of Kings. There was no mention of an address for it in the newspapers. One more thing.
Yes?
What do you know about Jane Doe, the fourth Soothsayer victim?
Apart from Deborah Sinclair, I can't offer much insight on the Soothsayer victims.
Really cool quality of life feature. It crossed off all of my victims after that. So we know we don't have to click on these. Shrine mirrors, the King of Kings, maybe we can get the address. Otherwise we have the yellow pages back at our office. We'll go look it up there.
What do you know about scrying mirrors?
Not much, unfortunately. They're not within my area of expertise.
Do you know anything about the King of Kings Catholic Church?
I'm not familiar with that church, sorry.
Are you familiar with the Azure Sky Motel?
I'm afraid not.
To the yellow pages it is.
Thanks. I'll come back if I have more questions.
Very well. Good luck.
Great. I've got the address to the church. I'll head over there tomorrow. I think it's time to see what I can find about the Azure Sky Motel. It's likely in this phone book here. Got the number. I'll call first and see if a visit makes sense. God knows I have to be careful with those last drops of gas left in the bike.
Thank you for calling the Azure Sky Motel, your oasis in Cassidy. How may I help you?
Hi there. This is Kathy Rain from Rain Investigations. I have some questions.
All right, then.
What can you tell me about your motel?
The Azure Sky is a long-time family business. We've been serving tenants faithfully for over 40 years now.
Oh, wow, quite a while. So, how many tenants do you have?
We don't keep records of the number of tenants, but we have 50 rooms of varied sizes. We're about 3/4 full, but expecting to be fully booked during tourist season in the summer.
Wait, tourists actually come to Cassidy? Somebody deserves a raise for one hell of a marketing campaign.
No patriot of the community, huh? That's a shame. This city has a lot more to offer than people like you give it credit for.
To each their own, I guess. So, I hear that one of your tenants was murdered back in February? Rose Taylor.
No shit. Here I thought the boys in blue ransacked this whole place just for shits and giggles.
That happens more often than you'd think. Come on, man. Help a girl out.
Sorry for the attitude, but you know you're the umpteenth person to ask about that, right?
I get that, so How about we stick with the short version?
Fine. No, I don't know anything that isn't in the papers. No, you can't see the room. It's rented out. And even if you did go in there, there's nothing that the cops or cleaners haven't removed since friggin' February.
Understood. So what about the next of kin? She had a husband, right?
Yeah, he came by later to pick up the personal effects. I just met the guy for a few minutes.
Did you catch his name?
I did, but I don't think he'd appreciate me giving out his name to some random lady on the phone. No offense.
I am a bit offended, actually. I'm not some random lady. I'm a licensed private investigator and a renowned one at that. Ever hear of the Whitmore affair?
That does sound familiar.
Well, that was me. Now, here's a friendly piece of advice. Choose the path of least resistance. I can be a much bigger pain in the ass than this Mr. Taylor, believe me.
All right, fine. It's Orson. Orson Taylor.
That wasn't so hard, was it? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. That's all, thanks.
You're welcome. Have a great day now.
Actually didn't realize that was the, I still had a few more questions to ask. I'm gonna call him back. Hope he doesn't mind.
Thank you for calling the Azure.
Hi again. What can you tell me about Orson Taylor, Rose's husband?
Nothing much. Like I said, I only saw the guy once, a week or so after the murder.
That's not surprising.
Okay. How do you seem?
Like you'd expect. Messed up. Couple of kids, too. Breaks my heart, truth be told.
So, if Rose was married and had 2 children, what was she doing in your motel?
Now that's the million-dollar question, ain't it? You'll get no answer from me, even if I could keep track of all of our tenants. I don't make a habit of sticking my nose in their personal affairs.
Also fair.
Huh. Was she a regular then?
Not really, just a couple of bookings in January and February. Look, I think I've said enough. Any other questions? We need to wrap this up. I've got calls on the other line.
Do you know anything about scrying mirrors?
No.
Only that our psycho killer enjoys breaking them around his victims, but I have no interest in understanding a nut like that.
You know anything about the Soothsayer?
What do you know about the
No.
Soothsayer?
I know more than I'd like to. I could have gone without a close view of his handiwork, that's for sure.
I can imagine. A brutal stabbing, I take it?
No offense, but I'd rather not go over that again. It's all in the papers, if you're so dead set on getting all the gory details.
That's all, thanks.
You're welcome. Have a great day now.
All right, found the husband's number. Here's hoping he's willing to talk to me.
You've reached the Taylors. No one's home right now, but if you leave your details after the beep, I'll get back to you.
Hi, Mr. Taylor. This is Kathy Rain, private investigator. I was wondering if I could ask you some questions. You can reach me at 555-142-062. Thanks in advance. Bye. I think I followed up on what I can today for each of the different victims. Just one thing left to do. I noticed that the Gazette had the best coverage of the Soothsayer out of all the city papers. I think it's time to pay a dear old friend a visit. All right, here we are. Let's see how E is doing. Nah, I'm not that desperate to get hydrated. Looks like Eileen printed some business cards for herself.
For disappointing?
Your outfit?
Now that's just mean.
Sorry, Summers, couldn't resist. Let me think.
A roll of tape. Might come in handy.
Is satisfactory?
I think I'm looking for
A roll of tape. Might come in handy.
I'd go with depressing, distressing, or maybe...
A few family photos. Eileen's got a big Christian family.
Perfect.
Man, her brother is a hunk.
Anytime.
Wouldn't mind getting some of that. Eileen's office phone? No need to mess with that. I have my own back at the office.
Hey Eileen, nice to see you again. I'm just gonna look all
Earth
around
space
you
is
except
acting up
at
again.
you for a
Oh, it
moment.
says someone needs to rehome their cat.
The layouts.
I'd be open to that, but Mildred would lose her shit.
I think.
My fluff ball needs her Lebensraum.
Now it's freaking...
Cute little frog.
Try hitting escape.
E has had that thing as long as I've known her.
All right, then.
Cacti rule. Nice view of the city from up here.
I adore this new office. Finally out of that
I just gotta
gloomy
call this
dungeon.
out. If you notice
Art?
down here in the bottom right,
You'd say
the
that
Windows
again.
98
I
screensaver
bitched to
of
McAvoy
the
about that
3D
moldy
pipes
cape
is
for
going.
a decade, but it wasn't until you rookies
Kids in
piled
the audience
on
are
that he
not
got
gonna
his
get
thumb
that,
out of
but
his ass.
Man,
I
does that
don't
make me
blame
feel?
him, Art. You complain a lot.
Oh, forgive me for having standards, Summers.
Of course, he's a green tea guy.
For saving-
Drinking coffee like a normal person would be much too sane. Some old sports trophy. Guess Art was into that in his oh-so-distant youth. Vintage, huh? I can respect that.
Little beeping pal of yours.
Oh, you mean Agatha?
I remember that. Something about a corrupt church. When the story broke, the place was shut down and some of the higher-ups went to jail.
I forgot her at home when I went to church.
Jeez, now that's a busy calendar.
Will there be a ceremony?
The Cassidy Gazette, a mid-sized paper and one of the oldest still active in the city.
Pop culture.
Sure. Keep telling yourself that, Summers.
Hello, sunshine. How's my favorite Christian reporter?
Oh, what do you want, Kathy? I'm on a deadline here.
No small talk, huh? Can't I check in on a friend?
I wish, but we both know you only show up when you need something.
Ouch. Well, I did have something I wanted to talk to you about.
Let's hear it then.
What do you know about the Soothsayer?
The serial killer? But... Oh no, it's that stupid reward, isn't it?
You betcha. Money in the bank, baby.
Oh, brother. I'd say this is a terrible idea, Kathy, but it's not like you listen to me anyway.
Oh, come on, Eileen. Don't be like that.
No, don't even go there. Do you know how many times I had to go to HR to get people to stop quoting that stupid song?
Poor old Johnny Ray sounded sad up on the radio.
Art, make her stop.
Why? It's not a half-bad performance.
You guys are like peas in a pod.
Ugh, well, now I lost my groove. I hope you're happy.
Ecstatic. Are you done wasting my time now?
Oh, lighten up, E. Aren't you thrilled about another big case? Teaming up, just like old times?
You can't just pretend nothing happened, Kathy. You fired me, remember?
I'll unfire you?
Yeah, right. How do you even know you'll get that reward? This is Cassidy we're talking about.
I was thinking the same thing, but Lucas did his homework. He says this new mayor is the real deal.
That silly old man. He just wants one last case with his protege before retirement, even if it means you'll get yourselves serial killed.
And I'm all here for it.
Of course you are. It's not like self-preservation is anywhere on your hierarchy of needs.
Can't argue with that. So, speaking of my, needs, what do you know about Cassidy's most prolific murderer?
Not much. You should ask Art. He's much more up to date on that stuff, being our crime correspondent and all.
What do you know about Deborah Sinclair?
I like her books, but I don't care much for celebrity gossip. Awful thing that happened to her, though.
What do you know about the woman who was burned alive by the Soothsayer?
Oh, nothing. I hope that horrible demon is caught soon.
What do you know about Benedict Townsend, the murdered deacon?
I don't know anything about that poor man.
Hey, you're a Christian. What does a deacon actually do?
It depends on the denomination, but a deacon belongs to a church and can practically do the same work as a priest, with the exception of sermons and rites.
Interesting, thanks. Are you familiar with scrying mirrors?
I think so, yeah. You mean the black ones made out of obsidian, right?
Yep. What do you know about them?
Not a lot. I know they've been around since ancient times and that they're quite popular in New Age culture today. My friend Meadow is totally into that stuff. I bet she'd talk your ear off about it.
Oh? Sounds great. Where can I find her?
Let me call her tonight and ask first, okay? She can be a bit peculiar about things.
Sure, not a problem. Are you familiar with the King of Kings Catholic Church?
I'm not. My family, we're Protestants.
Do you know anything about Eric Holloway, one of the Soothsayer victims?
Not really. I'm sure you know more about him than me.
What do you know about Rose Taylor, the first Soothsayer victim?
She worked as a nurse, I think. Other than that, I don't know much.
Have you heard of the Azure Sky Motel?
That's where one of those serial killings happened, right?
Yeah.
Thought it sounded familiar. I don't know anything else about it, though.
I don't want to ask her about that. I'll let you get back to your work.
All right, see you later.
Art Hopkins, just the man I need to see.
That's so. This better be good.
What do you know about the Soothsayer?
What do I know? I made the Soothsayer. Before me, he was the Mirror Murderer, the Cassidy Ripper, or whatever derivative moniker those dullards at the Times or the Sun could muster up.
Oh, wow. So what's your take on the guy?
I could see right through you, Rain. You're a bad apple, and it stinks all the way up here. Finally got a whiff of that reward, huh?
Can't blame a girl for trying. You've got your sights on that money too, huh?
Who doesn't? It's 200 fucking grand. I got a juicy new lead, too.
A new lead, huh? I doubt it's that impressive.
Nice try. I'm not gonna slip up. Word of advice, go back to your cheaters and insurance frauds and leave the Soothsayer to the big boys.
Alright, I thought this guy was going to be cool, but he's kind of a dick. So I don't mind effing him up if Eileen's going to help us find this lead he's got.
What do you know about Deborah Sinclair, the most recent Soothsayer victim?
Don't waste your breath about the Soothsayer. I'm not gonna say squat.
What do you know about scrying mirrors?
Saves me a lot of time, honestly.
Certainly more than you. I'd be surprised if you ever picked up a book.
Alright, that's just me.
Are you familiar with the King of Kings Catholic Church?
Don't waste your breath about the Soothsayer.
What do you know about the Azure Sky Motel?
Stop wasting
Don't
my
waste your time about the Soothsayer.
I don't need to ask him about.
Alright, well, F you, Art.
All right, that's all I needed.
Okay then.
Hey, E, one more thing.
Yeah?
What do you know about this new lead that Art supposedly picked up on the Soothsayer?
Nothing. I don't work with him directly.
Maybe you could find out?
No, Kathy. I respect Art. I'm not gonna mess with his story.
You know, honestly, fair enough.
I'll let you get back to your work.
All right, see you later.
Is there anything in the office I haven't looked at yet?
She respects Art too much to do a little digging, huh? That guy's a grade A asshole. It shouldn't take much to bring that out front and center. A roll of tape might come in handy.
Alright, let me just double check. Am I supposed to undermine Art? Yeah, alright, cool.
I gotta get Art on Eileen's bad side. Shouldn't be too hard, that guy's a major douche. Art is one step ahead of me with the Soothsayer. I should learn what I can about the Soothsayer at the I gotta get Art on Eileen's bad side. Shouldn't be too hard, that guy's a major douche.
Alright, I'm gonna poke around the office and then maybe I can look up some of his old articles at the library if I have to, but I'd like to not leave here if I don't have to. So here we go.
Cacti rule. Of course, he's some old sport. Nice view. Can I pick your brain?
You're lucky.
All right, that's all I needed.
Okay.
My Michiru instant camera. It's loaded with plenty of film. My trusty makeup brush, an oh so important part of... Oh, it says someone needs to read. I'd be open to that, but Mildred would lose. Cute little frog. A few family folk. Man, her brother. Looks like Eileen. Nah, I'm not. Jeez. The Cassidy. I remember that. Something about a corrupt. Vintage.
Alright, yeah, I'm not seeing anything else to do here, so I'm gonna actually head back to the library, maybe? I don't think I got a phone number for Art, so... I don't know, we'll see.
What?
Yes?
I don't want to app. I don't want to. Thanks.
Very well.
A bunch of. Microfilms contain. Daily papers from the last couple weeks. That doesn't make it. No need. No need. Nope. Lots of tailors in there, but no rope. I have his address. No need. That doesn't make... Nope. No. That won't work. Jane Doe is not the... No dice. Just out. An article in the Chicago Tribune about... I've been... My expert lockpicking said, I can't unlock.
So I just figured out how to use items from my inventory and actually pull them out and drag them onto things. So I'm gonna mess with my inventory on art, see if I can get something out of them.
I don't want to show that to him. I don't want to show...
Let me try some of these on Eileen as well.
I don't want to show that to her.
Alright. Well, we're gonna brute force it, Chad. I'll be back in a moment.
I don't want to... I don't want to... I don't want to... I don't want... I don't... I don't want to take a photo of him. That doesn't need... I don't want to wait. I don't want to... I don't want to... I don't want to... Oh, I've thought about it. Repeatedly. I don't want to... That doesn't need... Oh, it says someone needs... I'd be... Hey, E.
Yeah?
Bzzt.
Put that thing away before someone sees it.
Alright, and this is how we talk to people about things in our inventory. Okay. So you talk to them and then you use the square button.
I don't want to show that to her.
I guess I don't have to do the square button, but it makes it a little more personal.
I see you're still comfortable with petty crime.
Only when justified, E. Only when justified. I don't want to show that to her.
I wish they'd give me a quality camera like that. All I get to play with are budget knockoffs.
Ouch. Hang in there. I'm sure you'll get access to some quality hardware when you're more established.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I don't want to show that to her. I don't want to show that.
I bet if I show my personal stuff to Art, he's gonna get all
I'll let you get
snooty
back
about
to
it
your work.
out loud.
All right,
He's gonna
see you
hear
later.
it. I think it's the only thing I have left to try.
Can I pick your brain for just a few more moments?
You're lucky I'm in a patient.
Oh, I'm sure he'd love that. An easy excuse for calling security on me. I don't want to show that to him. I don't want to show that to him. I don't want to show that to him. I think my Michiru is a newer model than yours, Art.
Newer doesn't equal better, numbnuts. Are you really that desperate to show off?
Says the guy with his high school sports trophy on full display.
Oh, shut up.
I don't want to show that to him. 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 I think
Newer
says
Oh,
All right, that
Okay.
vintage, huh? Some old sports trophy. Nice. Of course. Cacti. I remember that. Something about a corrupt church. Hey, E.
Yeah? I wish they'd give me a.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I see you're.
Only. I don't want to.
Put that.
What do you know about the?
Nothing.
Maybe.
No, Kev.
I'll let you get back to.
All right.
Oh, it's a. I'd be open. Eileen's office phone. A few things. A roll of tape. Looks like. Nah, I'm not. Cute little.
What am I missing here?
I gotta get Art on Eileen's bad side. Shouldn't be too hard. That guy's a major douche.
Learn more at the Gazette. I'm here.
I should learn what I can about the Soothsayer at the Gazette, both from Eileen and other sources.
He doesn't know anything. Art does.
Art is one step ahead of me with the Soothsayer. I need to find out what his new lead is somehow.
In order to find his new lead, we need to turn
I
E
gotta
against
get Art on Eileen's bad side. Shouldn't be too hard. That guy's a major douche.
We were able to get him to get snarky with us by commenting on his camera, showing him ours, but he didn't have anything else, and she wasn't apparently listening in, so...
Nice view of the.
You can see everything we can look at. We looked at the calendar, the banner, the framed article, Patrick teacup. Is this the same?
I don't want to take his
conversation?
picture.
I'm gonna try to take a picture of his.
I don't want to waste film on that. I don't want to waste film on that. I don't want to waste film on that.
I don't know what you do want to waste film on.
I don't want to
Kathy.
waste film on that. I don't want to take a photo of him.
Probably don't burn down the building, right?
I don't feel like burning that.
Yeah, I think that's a smart idea.
I don't want to waste.
Oh, picture of Eileen, maybe?
I don't want to take her picture.
I figured he would jump in and be like, you have to use the old Nikon 2600. It was made in the 70s. And it takes only one film at a time.
That doesn't need a photo. That doesn't need a photo.
Tape. She said the tape is useful. Is there anything I can tape in my inventory?
A roll of tape.
I don't think enough though. These cards.
That doesn't need a. I don't want to wait. That doesn't. I don't want to waste. I don't want to show.
I think I already. Is it
Some. I don't want to show.
I see you're.
Only. I don't want to show. I don't want to. I don't want to show. Let's. That doesn't. Oh,
make up the frog?
I don't think that. That. What? What am I even?
I'm trying, Kathy. I'm trying. You're not helping.
That doesn't make. I don't think that. That does. I don't think that.
Hey, Art,
I don't
want to
show that.
makeup.
That doesn't... Oh. I don't think that would... Nice view of the... Nah. No. I think... Oh,
Burn the water.
I don't think... I don't think that... I don't want to...
Can I take a picture of my cat and show it to people?
That doesn't need a...
Picture of the cat.
Better not. Knowing me, I'll end up with no...
I got an achievement
I don't
for
want to
it.
waste...
Can I look up art?
I don't think that would... That doesn't... Let's keep things... Various reference...
Dang, I am stuck.
My private invest... I was worried I couldn't have... That doesn't...
I feel like the camera's gonna be for the
That
crime
doesn't-
scenes later. And what else can we go to the library?
Still same old Cassidy. Keeps me in. Eileen and me. We worked. Nah. Uh-oh. I better put.
Lockpicks. These didn't work on the stuck drawer, if I remember correctly. I'll try it again.
I can't on.
Yeah.
I don't feel like. I think Judy's talents have. Yeah, right.
Can't shock the cat. Unsurprising.
I don't want to show that to.
Alright. Burn the
Oh,
tequila.
I'm all about. The
Absolute
city-
wall. You called everyone. I don't think there's anyone else to look up. I'll try it again.
That doesn't.
Yeah.
No need.
No. And we have all the phone numbers. Called both of those. Eileen has a phone, but we weren't able to get her number or call her. I really don't want to have to look up every single book that was in the fluff of the articles. I'm gonna keep poking around for a
One
bit.
more thing.
Yes?
I don't want to show. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't see a reason to show him those. I don't want to. I don't want to. The microfilms were a great help. I got these nice prints out of them.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
The microfilm.
Oh,
The mic.
oh,
The mic.
oh.
I don't want to ask. This place is.
Well, that depends on your frame of reference.
This
but
is
the library
huge.
turns
Okay.
110 next year.
When talking
Damn.
to someone,
Must be one of the oldest buildings still standing in the city then.
Most likely. Yes.
when talking to someone, lifting this up lets you ask them specifically about things in the area. Okay. Alright, we're probably good here then. Let me get out of this conversation with the guy.
Thanks.
Very well.
I think I know exactly what to do now. lesson learned. Oh, hi, Art. I have some questions
Can
about
I pick your
literally
brain for
anything
just a
in
few
your
more
office.
moments?
You're lucky I...
So, you're one of those green tea guys, huh?
Of course, I take my health very seriously.
Oh, I couldn't tell. You're about 48, right? I can see that receding hairline of yours.
Ha ha, you ain't exactly the poster child for health yourself, Rain. I could smell last night's booze all the way from here.
I see that somebody's desperate to milk their achievements on the high school sports team.
You were always picked last, weren't you, Rain?
That's a Michiru Pro, right? Early edition?
Correct. You got an eye for quality.
Force of habit. A PI with blurry pictures wouldn't last very long. That's quite the story you've got framed up there on that wall.
Oh, yes. One of my proudest accomplishments.
It must have taken ages to break that story, right?
Half a year undercover. Now that's a proper investigation.
That's dedication. Lots of sermons to listen to, I take it?
Ugh, too many. I could feel my gray matter shrinking with every psalm, hymn, and other delusion thrown my way.
What made you decide to investigate the church?
I had a family member in that parish. They told me some strange stories. Didn't take long for my reporter's instinct to kick in.
Oh. Must have been tough to ruin a loved one's place of worship.
They're better off, believe me. I'd prefer to keep them out of organized religion altogether, but at least now they're no longer associated with goddamn criminals.
Ahem.
It's important with each of these that I'm letting him dig his own grave. I have to take the subtle option and let him stick his own foot in his mouth.
What was the fallout? Some people were arrested, right?
If by some you mean a lot, yeah. 12 people charged, 9 convicted, and about 100 years of prison time sentenced in total.
Damn. The state shut the church down too, right?
Oh, sure did.
That's a shame. They didn't have to punish the whole congregation just because the leadership was corrupt.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about. That place was rotten to the core.
Alright, I'm gonna see if that was enough.
All
Last
right.
one.
Okay.
Oof. I don't think Art's Eileen's favorite person right now.
Sounds like we did it.
Hey, E. One more thing.
Yeah?
Man, I'm itching to know what Art's new lead on the Soothsayer is.
I bet, but I wouldn't know anything about that. Not that he's been my favorite person lately.
You could still find out, right? Don't you want to ruffle that arrogant prick's feathers a bit?
Oh, well,
Pretty please.
okay, fine. I'll try, but no promises.
You're the best.
Either that or I'm just a slow learner.
Alrighty, it's getting late. I'm gonna get out of your hair before Art rats me out and calls security.
Oh, he wouldn't do that. He's not as bad as you think, Kathy. You guys are actually quite alike.
Oh God, you better take that back before you make me take up smoking again.
I have no doubt you'll be able to resist the temptation. Bye, Kathy.
Bye. Rain Investigations.
Kathy, it's me, Eileen.
Hey, E. What's up?
Oh, just burning the midnight oil. So I wanted to let you know that I found Art's new lead on the Soothsayer.
Amazing. Do tell.
Well, those people who were killed? Apparently, they were all under the influence of some sort of illegal drug.
Interesting. What type of drug?
I'm not sure, but this toxicology report here says that the street name is Pyre.
Never heard of that one. I better go ask Lionel.
Lionel? Who is that?
My drugged... Well, a friend of mine, that's all.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'd say you should take better care of yourself, Kathy, but you've heard it all before.
Pretty much, but seriously, thanks, E. I owe you one.
Don't worry about it. Oh, and by the way, you know Meadow, that friend I was telling you about?
Yeah, what about her?
She said you can come see her tomorrow. She's got an RV over on the west side, Sycamore Lane 21.
Perfect. I'll go talk to her in the morning.
Okie dokie. I gotta get back to work now, but I guess I'll see you around?
You bet. Catch you later, E.
Bye, Kathy.
Pyre, huh? I better call the cop shop and ask Josh about that.
You've reached Detective Everett, Narcotics. I'm not available right now. Please leave a message after the beep.
Hey, Josh, this is Kathy Rain. Been a while, huh? Let's meet and catch up. I have something I want to run by you. Hit me up at my work number, will ya? Okay, bye. All right, I guess that's that. Let's see if Lionel is at his usual spot. Rockports and other cheap brands. I'm certainly not going to waste my precious relapse on shitty smokes like that. I better hope I don't get desperate enough for one of these predatory loans. Looks like a seedy place. Pawn shops like this tend to be involved in all kinds of shady business. It's closed. Not that I have much left to pawn. You know, you're really downtown when the amount of neon approaches seizure-inducing levels. Fast cash, huh? Guess I could use some of that. Hey, what's up, Lionel?
Hey, girlfriend. You here for the white stuff?
Not this time, buddy.
Oh, you broke?
Well, I am, but that's not...
You just broke. Well, I ain't giving you a tab. I'd never see my money back. No offense.
I don't want a fucking coke tab, Lionel. I just had some questions.
Whoa. What's with the hostility, girl? There's no reason to be unsavory among friends.
Sorry, rough day. Can I run something by you?
Go on, then. I suppose I got some time to spare.
Do you know Pyre?
Oh, yeah. Strong trip, they say. I'd love to get my hands on some of that.
Hard to come by, I take it?
No doubt. I never got so much as a whiff of the stuff.
Oh, really? Who's slinging?
No one I know. Sketchy motherfuckers, though, whoever they are.
How so?
Well, for one, you won't find them on the corner like us, regular hard-working candy men.
Yeah, you're all salt of the earth. How do they conduct business, then?
Well, they pretty much don't.
I'm not following.
Well, join the club, 'cause it's some real candid camera shit. Every now and then, one of them dope fiends starts yapping on about some creepy fucker giving him pyre, and it's always on the house. Trying to run an honest pusher out of business.
Some kind of obtuse marketing tactic?
If it is, those people sure as hell ain't capitalizing on it.
Some half-assed DEA honeypot operation, then?
No way. The feds don't give a fuck about Cassidy, trust me.
Who are these fiends, then? Got any names?
Nah, I don't ask for names. And the junkie clientele all look the same to me, no offense.
Ha. So you don't know anyone who could get pyre? Some drug dealer you are.
No, I didn't say that. There is this one person who just might be able to pull it off.
Yeah?
A friend of the boss. Ultra-wealthy connoisseur. Tries everything once, apparently. Rich. I mean old money rich. Deeply connected.
Quite the sales pitch. Are you gonna give me a name or just leave a girl hanging in suspense?
Now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Surely a gumshoe such as yourself is well aware that information is a commodity.
I told you, I'm fucking broke, Lionel.
And I ain't deaf. We're talking a simple exchange. If you find out who's slinging pyre, you send the Love Lion a word.
Deal. Loaded guy's name, please.
It ain't a guy, strictly speaking. It's one of those, transsexual types. Prefers to go by the name Hannah Verdue.
Verdue? That rings a bell. Some French family, right? Mine owners?
You tell me. Sounds about right.
There were some things in the paper about the mine. I didn't read them too closely, though. Hopefully I won't have to go through them.
So what do you know about Hannah Verdue?
Not much, but I know she owns and runs a place on the south side. The Club of Hearts.
Catchy name. Casino?
Poetry club, if you can believe that.
I can. Sure sounds like an appropriate waste of money for a Verdue.
Yeah, I suppose those motherfuckers ran out of rooms to put golden bathtubs in.
Either that or mammoth wool rug suddenly went out of style. So that poetry club, do you know where it is?
South side, that's all I know. Never patronized myself.
That's it. Later, Lionel.
Until next time, hot stuff.
No hit. Unsurprising with her being one of those elitist types. All right, found an address. They're not open until Friday night, though. Guess I'll have to wait a couple of days. Ugh, I'm beat. You want to hit the sack, girl? Come on, then.
Sounds like that's going to be the end of day one. I don't know how many days are going to be in this game, but it'll probably be a good break point. At the very least, I'll stop the video so I can not overload my hard drive.
So, there's something I need to tell you.
Ooh, dream scene.
Yeah, I know, kid. Time to move on, huh?
Yeah. Is it that obvious?
I wouldn't be much of a PI if I couldn't see the writing on the wall for this one. It was nice having you around, though, kid. You spruced up the place, I gotta say.
Well, don't get lazy without me. I'm sure you still have a couple of years of detective work left in you.
Oh, that's all I need. Just a couple of more cases. Then I'm riding off into the sunset.
What's going on, Lucas?
What do you mean? Something wrong with my vacation outfit? I've always been a sun-kissed kind of guy.
Okay, Kathy. Enough loitering. Time to get back out there. You've got places to be.